Hello YouTube fam, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name's Tina and I make videos on lifestyle, home, and DIY projects every single week. If you're watching this the day that it goes live, happy Sunday. How are you guys feeling today? I am feeling amazing because I woke up to 50,000 subscribers on this channel. Like, honestly, I can't even describe how I feel today because I just am so overjoyed with excitement, and I'm just so grateful to everyone who subscribed to this channel. It's been such a big dream of mine to build up a community like this, and I am just so grateful for you guys for being here. We've seen so much growth in the past year, and I just want to say thank you so much for being a part of this journey. It's definitely been a tough year for everyone, but for me, you guys have made it so much better, and just being able to have this platform where I'm able to share project ideas with you guys every single week, and for you guys to really enjoy them and just find inspiration from them really has made my whole entire year. So I cannot thank you guys enough for it. And of course, I want to do a giveaway, so stay tuned for the next video where I'll have more details on that. I wish I could give you guys all real hugs, but I will give you a virtual hug. And I just can't wait for where this channel is going to take us next year. It's going to be a lot of fun. I have so many new ideas, and I am just so excited to bring you guys along on this journey. Okay, so jumping into today's video, I have some more IKEA flips for you guys. As I mentioned in my previous video, I had bought a bunch of items that could flip, and I'm very happy with all the items that I made for this video as well. One of the projects is literally one step, but it looks amazing. So I can't wait to show you guys that. And without further ado, let's jump into the first project. Hello from VoiceOver Tina. For this first project, I'm using this glass container from IKEA. It was on sale for $3.49, so I knew I had to grab it, and I actually have been eyeing this candle from Urban Outfitters for a while, so this project was very inspired by this piece. To create a handle for the lid, I grabbed a knob from Home Depot. This one was about $3, and I really love the shape and the stone of it, but I don't love the silver color, so I'm gonna paint it gold. And first, I'm just gonna tape it off with some masking tape just so that nothing gets on the stone, and then I'm gonna go in with some liquid gold paint on the silver hardware. I ended up doing 2 coats of this gold paint, and one tip I would give when using liquid gold is to actually use an inexpensive brush, and it's really easy to ruin your brushes with this paint since it sticks on so well, but to clean it I used some acetone, and that works pretty well. And after both coats were dry, I just added on a glossy sealant just for some added protection. So here's how the knob is looking. I think it looks so much better already. And now I'm going to go ahead and adhere it to the top with some E6000 glue, and I'm just going to attach it right to the center. To ensure that it would bond well, I taped it down, and then I just let that sit on the side to dry. Alright, now we're moving on to the candle. So I'm using one of these candles from a set from IKEA, and these smell so good. I really love the fluted look of them, and I would definitely recommend these even if you don't want to recreate this project. These candles are really awesome. For this project, I really wanted to use a colored candle just to show through that glass. So I'm taking the light pink candle and I'm going to melt it down. And to do that, I'm just going to pop it into a glass container and let that sit in some boiling water on my stovetop. While we're waiting for that to melt, I went ahead and used my hot glue gun to glue down 3 wicks to the bottom of the container, and I tried my best to make sure that they were as even as possible apart. Once my candle was melted, I just poured it right on into the container, and this was actually so satisfying because the candle was literally the same exact amount that I needed to fit into the container, so it worked out perfectly. However, what was not satisfying were those tiny black specks in the wax, and I'm not actually sure what that's from since this candle was never lit before, so it may be from the wick clip that was in there before, but if anyone knows how I can avoid that in the future, please comment down below. And to ensure that the wicks would stand straight up, I just used some chopsticks for them to rest on. For the finishing touch, I'm just creating a tassel with some thin yarn, and this is actually in the same color as the candle, so it matches perfectly. And I use a scrap piece of cardstock to wrap the yarn around, and I wanted this to be a little bit thicker, so I wrapped it around quite a few times. Then I took another piece of yarn and I slid that in between the yarn and the cardstock, and I just knotted it super tightly at the top. To create the bottom of the tassel, I'm just going to go ahead and snip the other side. Then to create the head of the tassel, I knotted the top again with some more yarn, and then I wrapped another piece of yarn a few more times before knotting it and snipping it off. For the finishing touch, I'm just going to brush out the bottom with a fine-tooth brush and then just even it out with a little haircut. Once everything was dry, I cut the wicks down and then I also attached the tassel to the handle and the candle was ready to go. I really love how this candle turned out. It was a fun twist on the original inspo picture that I was eyeing at first. I think it looks so classy and would look beautiful in a living room or a bedroom. And what's great about this is that once you're done burning it, you can totally reuse it as a jewelry dish or to store anything else that you'd like. For our next project, I'm using this little basket set from IKEA. It comes with 2 baskets in different sizes, and they also have these little lids on them in a fun turquoise color. We won't be using the lids in this project, so you can just set those aside. Okay, so this project is seriously so easy. All you need to do is to flip one basket upside down and then add some hot glue to it. And then you can adhere it to the other basket, and that's literally it. That is all you need to do, and I think this might be the easiest DIY project that I've ever done, but I absolutely love it. To complete it, I just popped in a faux plant from IKEA, and usually I would not use fake plants in my home, but for the kitchen or a bathroom that doesn't have any windows, I think this is a great option. This shape is super trendy right now, and this was so inexpensive to create. I really love how it turned out. I've done the same technique with bowls before, but I really love this basket version since it's a bit bigger and it makes for a very cute plant stand. You can also use it for so many other things, but I absolutely love it and I hope you guys do too. Now onto the last project. I could not let this lid go to waste, so of course I'm gonna make something out of it. First, I'm priming it with 2 coats of white paint. This is going to be helpful since I'm going in with a lighter color, so the white is going to be the perfect base. After that's dried, I'm using a yellow ochre paint on top of the lid, and this took me about 3 coats to completely cover it. So here's how the lid is looking after everything's dried down. And then I'm just gonna go ahead and mark the halfway point of the circle. And I use that as a guide as I wrap the bottom half of the lid with some raffia. I think this gives it some nice textural interest. And all I did to do this was to add some glue to the back and then just wrap it around several times in small sections. This is already looking so good, so now we're going to move on to the other parts of the wall hanging. So I took some popsicle sticks and I cut them down into rectangles, and I really just used what I had laying around, and I think the wood finish on these is going to tie in with the raffia perfectly. Next, using a screw or a nail, I'm going to create some small holes, and first I'm just going to hammer it in, and then I'm going to use my screwdriver to slowly create the hole. And since these are quite thin, this is a great method to avoid splitting the wood. And as you can see, the edges of the holes are a little bit rough, so I just sanded down the surface, and I repeated this step 2 more times to create 3 wood pieces. Now it's time to put it all together. So to hang this piece, I'm going to create a loop with my raffia, and I'm just going to string together 3 wood beads through the end. I feel like adding wood beads is my go-to just to add some interest to any wall hanging, and I'm just going to go ahead and hot glue it to the back of the wall hanging. Then I'm going to do the same for the last 3 pieces of wood by looping on some raffia, and then I'm just going to glue it to the bottom part. I was actually afraid that I would break the lid if I tried drilling holes into it just because I don't know what it's made out of, so glue was the next best thing, and I think it worked out great. And now your piece is ready to be hung. Using items I already had at home, I think this wall hanging came out super great. The design fits in perfectly with my decor, and I think there are so many different ways that you can use this lid to create something new. So let me know in the comments what you guys would DIY with this basket lid. I have 1 more of these lids and I'm trying to brainstorm some new ideas, so comment down below. What do you guys think about those projects? Let me know in the comments down below which one was your favorite. I would have to say that it's a tie between the candle and the basket planter just because I love them both so much. I think this candle came out so good. It just looks so vintage looking and also just more bougie. And I also was a little bit skeptical because it seemed like this was going to be too shallow, but knowing that it fits that whole candle reassures me that this is going to be burning for a very long time, and it also smells really good, so I would definitely recommend that you guys pick those candles up. Oh my god, I almost broke it. And of course, I really love how this basket turned out. I mean, I just love the shape so much. As I mentioned, I made a couple of DIYs at my old place with a similar concept, but I have nothing like that here, so I really wanted to create one. And I'm just so happy with how this one looks. I think it just is so vintage looking, but also modern with the shape. It is so pretty, and I know, I can't believe I bought a fake plant. But I've been eyeing this one from IKEA for so long just because it looks pretty good, and I definitely wanted to have something in my bathroom or in my kitchen which doesn't get too much light. So this was just perfect for it, and I think it looks so beautiful. And again, thank you guys all so much for 50,000 subscribers. I am so incredibly grateful for every single one of you guys. This is such a huge milestone for me, and I definitely want to celebrate, so please stay tuned for the next video where I'll be hosting a giveaway, and I'll have all the details in there. If you like this video, please give it a big thumbs up and subscribe down below for new videos every single week. Follow me on Instagram if you haven't already. I'm posting on there every single day. And that is it for today's video. Thank you all so much for watching. Stay inspired, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!